getting to the point where we're going to be in crisis mode here in law enforcement across the country.
Now at 11, a critical time for police. Departments across the country are facing staffing shortages. In fact, just today, 4 officers let the Cincinnati Police Department know that they are retiring. Thank you so much for joining us for WCPO 9 News at 11, live on air and wherever you happen to be streaming us. I'm Craig McKee.
I'm Tanya O'Rourke. A shortage could ultimately slow down response times in an emergency. WCPO 9 News reporter Jake Ryle is talking with law enforcement leaders to find out what's being done here and what it means for your safety.
The Cincinnati Police Department right now is understaffed by 74 police officers, and even with an upcoming recruiting class, that number is only going to grow larger. For Dan Hils, FOP Lodge 69 president,
it's a simple fact. The more cops on the street, the less crime.
By the time the next class of recruits graduate, the department will still be down 100 officers.
There's no doubt that it affects the safety. It affects when you call 911, and it also affects a lot of the follow-up things.
Hils says the stress of the job deters some from applying. Meanwhile, older officers are retiring while others are simply moving on.
It's a tough job. I've said I'm not sure right now whether or not I'd want my son to jump into this.
Hils says it's easy for people to judge officers' actions in hindsight. It's much more difficult to be in those situations in the moment.
If more people accepted that there's no way you can do the job perfectly, then I think some of the critiques of police officers would go down, and therefore you would see more people who are qualified become interested in the job.
That's the issue in Westchester.
We're down 30% on number of applicants that we had even from last year.
Chief Joel Herzog says a full complement is 90 officers. By June 1st, they'll be down to 81. To make up for it, they've switched to 12-hour shifts until July, ultimately doing more with less.
The negativity and the stress level becoming on police officers is just pushing people out the door and not getting people in the door.
Herzog says hiring comes in waves, and he's hoping a new wave will be coming soon.
It will come back, and it's just a matter of keeping people on track, to stay involved, to keep their head up, and to keep fighting for what they believe in.
Jake Ryle, WCPO 9 News.